Hello and welcome to Health Presser Learning Academy, where we talk about innovations and how it is shaping up the future of healthcare industry. Today we are going to talk about a topic that is known as enterprise AI and how healthcare brands can leverage enterprise AI to empower their communications and competitive edge. To discuss the same, today we have Dalip Manhas, CEO, Health Presso. Thank you, Dalip, for joining us today. Let's deep dive into this phrase called enterprise AI. So Dalip, when we talk about the healthcare industry, particularly pharmaceutical industries, companies or hospitals, they have a lot of data. They have marketing data, they have a lot of research oriented data. So how do you think there is the gap or the challenges to effectively use this kind of a data when it comes to communications or putting it in the forefront, which is mostly at the back foot?
Thanks, Kanika, for having me here. So when we talk about the challenges with data or content, the biggest issue that I have seen is that this whole data is so unintelligently siloed that it becomes useless in most of the time. It's almost like every time you want a piece of content to be created, you revisit the drawing board, you try to find out where that content is lying, and you go through the whole process again and again. There are so many departments, starting from R&D to production, to marketing, to sales, where all this data reside. And this data could be clinical trials, it could be scientific opinion pieces, it could be CME decks, even visual aids and leave behind literatures if we are talking about pharmaceutical industry. So what happens is team is wasting so much time, effort, energy and even cost in just finding this information again and again. And that is completely against how ideally in an intelligent ecosystem it should be happening. And that is what I think a big challenge is, and that is a big gap that needs to be filled.
So Dalip, since we spoke about these challenges and the gaps you mentioned, how critical has it become to explore newer ways to create content or put it in the forefront, and why the methods that were practiced earlier or even now, why are they so outdated, I would say?
So what is happening right now, if we look at it this way, that the pace at which medical information is changing is huge. Also the compliances are changing every day. Every day there is a new regulation, there is a new guideline that you need to follow. So what happens is that when you look at traditional methods that were being used, like manual methods, all these are outdated because they are not able to change content in real time. They are any piece of content that you want to create will take anywhere between 3 to 5 days for you just to create the content, and then maybe a whole approval process that comes out. So your cost is inflated, your resources are being used extensively. Therefore, there is a need for something which is more real time, which is quicker, and which is able to deliver results in a more compliant manner. Otherwise, what will happen, the product or the brand will either be sending out redundant information outside in the market, or might come under regulatory compliance scanner because you are giving information which is no longer aligned to the latest guidelines or compliances that are needed. So if you look at it this way, the cost of using manual or cost of being not up to date is just too huge for a brand, and therefore there is a need to be updated and use newer processes which can help you do that.
So Dalip, you advocate a lot about the private RAG system or the RAG model. Could you explain and throw light how this improves the effectiveness and efficiency when we talk about the internal team coordination in this context?
So let's look at first what a RAG is. Imagine you're a pharmaceutical brand, or you are any other enterprise. You have 10,000, 15,000 pieces of internal content over a period of time which you have got together. It could be clinical trial data, it could be research articles, it could be even your internal communication. So what RAG actually does, it's almost like your private secure place which is just accessible to you, where all your data is put together.
Okay.
So imagine like a Google Drive where all this data is put together.
Right.
Now what Humeta does, then this data is trained almost like how an AI engine is trained.
Okay.
So it is slotted, indexed, and all that data is put there.
Right.
And when you connect it with a Humeta RAG, what it is able to do is it is able to gather all the intelligence of your data with an LLM and connect it to a guideline or a SOP based system through which a lot of data can come to you. So imagine you have put 10,000 pieces of content. Now you want to ask certain questions to this RAG, as in a simple question like in which all indications this product can be used, and are there more indications that we are not today talking about, almost like an indication expansion for a molecule.
Right.
So what this RAG is able to do, search through all the content that you have, all the content that is there in Humeta's RAG, and then able to come up with an answer saying, okay, today's 7 clinical trials say this product can be used in a certain manner or these particular indication. So when you are creating your marketing plan as a manager, you will have very clear understanding of how my data is being today used and utilized to first give me answers, and through SOPs I can start creating a lot of content like I want to write a blog, I want to write a web article for my website, or even want to create a visual aid that can go out to my doctors. So that's how your data can be very, very intelligently used by a RAG to give you very context relevant, real-time answers that will impact you in making decisions.
And this is coordinated in terms of the real happenings that or the real research is any which way. So it is trained like that. It is giving you a real-time solution.
Yes. Humeta is doing that. In your case, whatever as a brand, whatever data that you have put definitely is there. But if you want it like live on internet, then Humeta RAG comes into the picture because it is live.
It is live.
Don't because your RAG is completely secure. It's almost like a safe vault, which no one from the outside world can access or look into.
Yeah.
Only your teams can look into it. Therefore, it is not live on internet.
Okay.
But through Humeta, you can get context relevant information fed back into the system.
Right. So Dalip, beyond these, the efficacy or the effectiveness, if we talk about tangible benefits, what are those tangible benefits that a healthcare brand can expect in terms of ROI, speed of the content delivery, or various forms of content? So what is the ROI that they can expect if they take the enterprise AI approach?
I think the first one would be the quality of content that comes out.
Okay.
Just imagine you have fed 5,000, 10,000 pieces of content or clinical trials. All these are high science, highly credible sources of content that are available.
Right.
So anything that is trained on this, right, will be very, very intelligent. At the same time, you have Humeta AI, which is giving you context relevant information. So whatever comes out will be of a certain scientific credibility and also compliant at the same time, because it would have taken into account all these things.
Right.
Other than that, tangible difference that it will make is, and I think I have already spoken about it, first one is speed at which it can do. Anything that you want to create will take anywhere between 3 days to 5 days to, I've seen content going to and fro for almost 5-6 months also.
Right. Yes.
Here it can be done in few seconds and in few minutes also. If you want to sort of give another prompt, get a very specific kind of a query answer, so all those things can be done. So that's first one.
Right.
And second is cost. As I've told you,
very important.
It's not, yes, very, very important. It's not just the human costs. It's the time cost, it's the infrastructure cost, it's the cost of you dealing with so many people, they sending you something and you responding to it. It's the, as we call it, the emotional cost of
time is money.
Content. Yes, emotional cost of creating content also is huge because you go through all the bad blood that flows. And lastly, of course, is the ROI. Right. When you have taken care of time, when you have taken care of speed, when you have taken care of everything else, overall your ROI goes up because the quality of content is good and it is coming to you within a certain period of time.
Right.
Overall, from a brand perspective, that's a positive in every single sense.
So Dalip, where does Humeta AI fit into this whole scheme of things when we talk about the whole system, when we talk about the implementation of a private RAG into this process, the healthcare brands or their entire internal process? Where does Humeta fit into this?
I think I've not really explained Humeta AI a lot, so let me take a moment to do that. So Humeta AI is an AI engine which we have created. It is custom built by us, ground up. One of the core aspects of Humeta AI is that it is trained on credible medical information.
Right.
Nearly 2.5 million plus medical sources have been referred,
Right.
and that they are also part of Humeta AI.
Right.
Now, the way it has been done is that it is built in such a manner that it is completely compliant to all the regulations across.
Right.
You talk about GDPR, HIPAA, any other company, CCPA, any other
All compliances are taken care of.
Are taken care of. So when you are creating your own RAG as a brand, you are also getting the benefit of Humeta.
Okay.
You might have your own whatever 5,000, 10,000 clinical documents, but this one has got 2.5 million plus, and it is being trained every single day.
Right.
It is internet live. So all those benefits that are created with Humeta AI will also be passed on to your private RAG.
Right.
So therefore, as I was talking about it being compliant, yes, the content that you create will be compliant. Is it context relevant? Yes, it will be.
Okay.
Is it up to date, real time? Yes, it will be. So all those benefits also come into the picture when you talk about Humeta AI empowering your private RAG.
Right.
So it's the best of both worlds.
Yeah.
You have your internal data and you have an external source.
source.
But at the same time, maintaining completely watertight compartments, ensuring that none of your data is being leaked into Humeta AI,
Okay.
while the intelligence of Humeta AI can be leveraged by your private RAG.
Okay.
So that's the benefit that you get when you work with Humeta AI, creating your own private RAG.
So Dalip, if we look ahead, what kind of advantages or strategic advantages can healthcare brands expect if they embrace enterprise AI and a platform like Humeta AI?
So I think what they will be able to do is transform their communication completely.
Okay.
Today they are just content creators. They will become agile, intelligence-driven communicators. That's the big change that will happen. If I have to just capture 3 or 4 large benefits that they will get, first, of course, is speed to market.
Right.
That they will be able to achieve through this. Second, credibility that they will be able to build.
Right.
Third, resource allocation.
Right.
And last, of course, and the final one is competitive edge they will get.
Right.
Today, when we look at a lot of communication, it is one size fits all, as we call it, carpet bombing that keeps happening with a lot of content that goes out. But with this, I think it will become intelligent because you'll be able to understand what is the brand voice, how is brand communicating, and therefore what kind of content will work for what kind of audience. So if you look at patient, you look at doctors, you look at caregivers, even allied healthcare practitioners, at every stage you will be able to create much more personalized, customized communication, because at the base of it is your intelligence that is being utilized to create new content.
Great. Thank you, Dalip. Thank you so much. I hope this helps put a lot of things in perspective and busts a lot of myths when it comes to enterprise AI. Lots of learnings today. So viewers, if you are a healthcare brand, a pharmaceutical brand or a hospital brand and would like to schedule a demo for enterprise AI solutions or Humeta, share your email ID in the comment section below and we shall reach out to you. Until next episode, this is your host Kanika Malhotra signing off. See you in next video.